Chat everyone, what's up, and welcome back to another When Geeks Collide action figure review. In this case, it's another wrestling figure review, one I've personally been anxiously awaiting for about 3 months, maybe 4 months now, since pre-ordering, and it is for the Spanish God, Inner Circle member, AEW superstar, Sammy Guevara. And yes, I have 2 Sammys because I am going to obviously keep one in package, and we're going to open the other one today. So right away, let's start with, this is number 30, Series 4 of the Unrivaled collection, currently out, and good action figure shot there. As always, the AEWs have their promo pics. Accessories include his now infamous Bristol boards with different messages. Hit me up, originally intended for Brandy. Don't blame him there. And he's got his signature shades, his leather jacket. Yeah, he's got his tongue out. He doesn't do that so much anymore, thankfully. Never a fan of wrestlers who stick their tongues out, mostly. But that's here nor there. It's still Sammy. So, flip it around. We have here, they always show which shot or episode or pay-per-view the action figure is designed on. So here it's from October 2nd, 2019, AEW Dynamite out of Washington, D.C., where he faced off against Cody. I'm pretty sure that was the premiere episode of Dynamite. Trivia note, my first introduction to Sammy Guevara, who's now gone on to become one of my favorites, top 3 favorites in AEW. And hard to give a specific order on that, but you all know my fandom of Matt Jackson, and we'll get to the other one later on. So, and always the autograph there. Unrivaled collection does include a new Kenny Omega and Cody, along with first-time AEW releases of Matt Hardy, Santana, and Ortiz. Very popular. Also fellow Inner Circle members. Okay, here we go. Into the figure. Now, as I open this, we have a cameo by my cat Van, who's not the Spanish God. Hey, Van. But his sister Abigail, the Calico, she's a Spanish cat goddess, who Sammy sometimes retweets on Twitter. A mark out moment there. Okay, now let's get back to the figure, as Van takes up the space. So if you've ever actually tried to open these AEW figures, they can be a bit of a pain, so I just went ahead and untaped it here, but we'll flip it open. And even though I have some of the figures, I don't buy doubles of everyone, obviously, but I like cutting out this back section and keeping it with the figures, and then I usually keep one of these tracks. I used to do that as a kid too. You know, just kind of an action figure checklist of each wave. So yep, see you, Van. Okay, so we're there. Very careful, as if you are going to do that or keep your packaging, I would recommend being very careful around this area here, because it often rips right into the corners, so you got to be careful with that. I can't tell you though, this went up for pre-order, it must have been January or February, and it was a Wednesday and Dynamite was coming on. I was so ticked because I was at work, and I got they went pretty quickly. So, but luckily they put more up because I was bitching online. If you've heard the When Geeks Collide podcast or Wrestling with Myself, you know I'm pretty adamant about getting the things that I want and like, and this was one figure that I definitely wanted. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna open this up. So after you open up Sammy, you lift the top layer. The Bristol boards are in a second layer here, so I'm just gonna pop them out. Worry about the plastic later, because like I said, I want to cut that out. So we have Hit Me Up. Hit Me Up. It's all the same. You know what? Let's deduct a point on that, because they could have done other things, like even a plug for his vlog. Maybe we'll do that later. But it's all the same. Hit Me Up. But you know what, though? On the other hand, I mean, kids are playing, right? They lose accessories, so at least, you know, the parents could keep a few in case they leave that. I don't know. Trying to justify it here. But back to Sammy. So let's just He's really in there good. Oh shit. I hate I don't want to break that damn hand like the Darby. I hate when the heads pop forward, because loose heads like that really get me. But his head is pretty on tight, so that's good. Okay, and now there's something I noticed from the packaging, which I didn't quite point out, is that plastic that we've been seeing on all the figures, and right there, like you can see, it's underneath the arms, which they've commonly done, but I'm curious because they've done it here along the ribs, which I guess is to just keep this in place here. Hopefully it's not too loose. And then the jackets usually doesn't come with any other sets of hands, so it might be fun getting this jacket off. Yeah, I mean, credit to the jacket, and they've been adapting these new styles, but it's good only for posing, because you can't really play. It's not like you can have them really fight in the jacket. Alright, before I risk ruining this figure, good thing I got a backup, huh? Let's just look at the leg articulation. Got some nice knee pads there. Paint is good. Trunks are good. It's got a Sammy Guevara symbol on the back. And again, we got the nice swivel movement there. Goes all around. Up the back. I hate when Steve says kicking their own ass. Like that just bugs me, but that's Steve. And do we have a little bit of a swivel there? You always have to watch out. Well, with those elites you have to, but Jazzware seems to have this much better in here compared to Mattel Elites. Again, both legs move to the side, which is very important because Sammy does a lot of like kicking and, you know, acrobatics. Okay, and you know, head goes all around, so you can do different poses. Now we're gonna get this jacket off, which I'm not gonna film because it's just gonna be a pain in the ass. Look, hold on, look at this. What a pain! Look at this. You had to twist it right back to get it off, like, and then you're gonna have to swivel his arm around. You know, I'm not gonna hate, like, this could happen on any of the AEWs, you know what I mean? And the plastic pieces, sure, they help, but you're gonna end up removing. I can't even get that off. You're gonna end up removing these. So you got. This is why I just mostly keep these jackets off, right? I'll cut this off, but then, like, look. I guess Van is getting sick of his sister always getting the Spanish cat goddess attention. He's back. So I turn the arm around. I mean, maybe it's a good thing I'm videoing it, so it's a little secret that to get the jacket back, you know, you have to twist the shit around. This one I didn't have to cut off, actually. Just comes right off. So they've loosened those up a bit, and this arm wasn't twisted. As you can see here, it's facing normal direction, so maybe that just happened and made it. Maybe they're not all like that even, and we get a much better perspective here. This is okay, so that one, there's a bit of tape on there, and then that way you can just pull it, and there you go, plastic's off. So now you get the Sammy Guevara's 6-pack. Maybe it's an 8-pack. Anyway, stop checking out the action figure, Jeff. So we're gonna get back on topic here. And these wristbands are actually a different material. Oh no, they're painted on. It just feels like a different texture versus like the skin tone here. So it does feel like a different texture. That could be the paint. Definitely the paint. But as far as structure goes, I mean, this is very much Sammy Guevara if you think about it. And even if they're, you know, reusing some parts, like maybe the Darby, I could double check on that. I don't think that they're using the Darby. This could be a fresh lower sculpt or one of the Jacksons. It's still a great feature. And it does go all around, so I mean, he can hold up, you know, and then he can bend nicely too to do a 630 or whatever it is Sammy's going to do. Now, looking at the sunglasses here, they are really in there tight, so I might leave them or cut them out. Oh, not too bad. The sunglasses were more durable than I expected, and that's good, because the last thing you want is to try and get them out and break them, because Sammy needs his shades. obviously. As far as paint application, this is fantastic. This is probably one of the finest points of the entire figure, because the paint app is right on. I mean, there is no paint smear, and you look here, you look right along there. That would be easy to do if you think of some of those Power of the Force 2 Star Wars and the kind of stuff we saw that happened with that. But this is spot on. I mean, right around. There isn't a mark out of place. Like, that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Fantastic work on that part with the paint application. You could even say like the tongue. There's nothing missing on this. Eyes. Everything is right on. So, 10 out of 10 on the head paint application. So just to give some in-ring comparison, I just want to do this quickly because I don't want it to go on very, very long, as mine tend to do. There's the Darby. Now, granted, Sammy's like ninja-ish, Mortal Kombat-ish, and it's not the same. You'll see on the Darby here, it's much different structure, so they definitely geared that more to Sammy. If we have a quick look, there we go. Quick look at Matt Jackson. It's very similar. Okay, so Matt Jackson, how about that? So I think it's pretty much the same torso as Matt Jackson. But that's okay. There we go. Look at that image. Sammy Guevara and Matt Jackson. Sorry, couldn't resist. So yeah, but Sammy Guevara, there we go, and he can fly all around, hit his bumps, his kicks. Perfect. Okay. So Steve usually does the ratings. I don't, but I know, the jacket is what it is. The figure itself, you could say the basic figure, but this, much like the one I'm anticipating, Jungle Boy, they are basic. At least they've done the new release now of Jungle Boy in his white gear, which I love the white gear, and it's got some more detail on it. But Sammy's got all his logos there, so the paint application is fine. Okay, so this concludes. This is the review of Sammy Guevara. Overall, great figure. I mean, I'm going to love it either way. A little bit biased. But hey, there's only one Spanish God, right? And the Jazzwares keep kicking out these figures. And, they're reissuing some of the major guys. And that's fine, because not everyone's on board, right off the bat. And you want to make that availability there. I'm sure this is not going to be the only Sammy figure. After all, we've got a couple Jacksons, and like I said, my most anticipated, my favorite Jungle Boy has got 2 figures as well, so there'll probably be another Sammy along the line quite soon. And but overall, great figure, happy to have it, solid addition to the collection. Make sure to check out his vlogs on YouTube, because they're hilarious, and he's got a good crew of the guys on there. And speaking of YouTube, you're obviously watching this on YouTube, so if you're not subscribed, hit subscribe to When Geeks Collide. And you can also check us out on sunsetcrypt.com, as Steve says, the mothership, because there's links to the Wrestling With Myself podcast, my Diamond Tiger Entertainment YouTube page, and the When Geeks Collide podcast. Very important, because that is, hand in glove to the YouTube channel. So there you go. Thanks very much for checking it out, and we'll see you next time.